Days on YouTube. Join the conversation on 0808 17 17 700. Talking Scottish football first.
Good evening, this is Paul Cooney with Barry Ferguson and Charlie Mulgrew. It's advantage Glasgow, Rangers and Celtic after Hearts' draw at bottom club Livingston yesterday. 6 games to go, Hearts on 67 plus 28 goals, Rangers on 66 plus 32, Celtic on 64 plus 23. 0808 17 17 700. The guys are here waiting for your calls. Charlie, last up was Celtic yesterday afternoon. Pressure was on them. Rangers had gone top of the table. Then Hearts back on top, but they slipped up, as you know, at Livy. And Celtic eventually made hard work of it, but they got there.
Yeah, they would have been encouraged by the Hearts result. Hearts dropping points, so they knew Celtic know what they need to do now. It's simple. They need to win every game to win the league. And they just kind of limped over the line again, Paul. I don't think it was a great performance again. Vinchara missing 2 or 3 chances, gilt-edge opportunities again, missing the striker. Points to recruitment again, not been good enough.
Is he a worry for you?
He's a worry. He's the striker department is a worry. Any actual was the shining light. You're hoping that he can step up and play more minutes. Again, Martin O'Neill's scratching for a formation or a starting lineup that he trusts. I don't think he knows who his best team is. If you do week to week, it keeps changing. You get a tune out of Tenecti sometimes, other weeks you don't. Hatate's on the bench yesterday, doesn't come on. Maeda's up and down, but no much. Donovan comes off and Ralston then comes on. No brilliant. Kieran Tierney doesn't play the 90. Sarachi comes on, does well. I just think he's scratching for a formation and not so much a formation, more of a starting lineup and people that he trusts. I just think Celtic, the quality's not there through the squad, but they're picking up wins, and I mean, it'd be a miracle if they win this league. I think the way the seasons went, the recruitment in both windows this season's been terrible. You can see that by you look at Mvuka and
who
the likes exactly. You go through the squad and you think
it's been unbelievable, hasn't it?
It's
Balikwisha,
yeah. It's just not been good enough. Adamu as well as another one, nowhere to be seen. But listen, Celtic win the game, the most important thing, and then try and pick up a bit of form and move forward. 6 games to go. Can they limp for 6 games and get over the line? That would be a miracle, but I can't see it.
Barry, you were watching from top of the table on Saturday. Were you surprised that Hearts dropped points yesterday at Livy?
I was, but I was at the Rangers game a number of weeks ago when Rangers dropped 2 points against Livingston. I think under Marvin Bartley, they've certainly improved. They're more a solid unit. It was a surprise for Hearts to drop points, but when you look at the table with 6 games to go, as Charlie just mentioned there, it's all to play for. There's going to be obviously nerves going into each game now, but listen, it's so exciting. It's so exciting, and I'm a big believer in. I don't think whoever's going to win it out of Hearts, Rangers and Celtic, I don't think they can have any more mistakes in them now. I don't.
But they have, haven't they? Do you think Rangers will go all the way? Do you think Celtic will go all the way?
Rangers' form's good, 15 unbeaten. Are they playing amazingly well? No, they're not, but they're finding a way to win, Paul. That's the most important thing when you're at the business end of the season. Seen it 3 weeks ago when they went to St Mirren.
Yeah.
Horrendous game, albeit the weather wasn't great. They found a way to win. Aberdeen, they were really dominant, and then on Saturday against Dundee United, they were good. They made a number of changes as well, because when you see that lineup come out, you're a bit concerned in case you lose a bit of momentum, but they didn't. They won pretty convincingly in the end, and then obviously you see Hearts dropping points, Celtic winning. Again, I agree with Charlie. I don't think Celtic played well, but the most important thing is you come away from Dundee with 3 points.
Let's hear from the 3 managers. Martin O'Neill first. Not clinical enough. What was 17 attempts on goal?
Absolutely. And you knew that Dundee will come into the game. We should have, 2, 3 and 4 at the time after we had scored the first goal. We kept missing and kept missing and kept missing, and you think, well, yeah, this could be dangerous. As it turns out, it was, because they get the equaliser through the penalty kick, and then it really is uphill after that for us. But we fought through it, and we created the chance, and we scored.
Derek McInnes earlier on, you could tell he was rattles maybe too strong. This was him at full time after 2-2.
Yeah, we'll get 3 home games out of the remaining 6, but we're unbeaten at home. We're really strong. I think today we came with a lot of expectation. Looking at the league table, top v bottom, A lot of people would have thought that this was a straightforward game. Nobody from our point of view thought it was going to be straightforward. At times we looked good, and as I say, at times we looked like a team who looked as if they should be at the top of the league this season, and there was just other times where we were just guilty of sloppiness and mistakes, and ultimately we opened the door. But I actually think for us, we know we're better. We've got another game into Lawrence, another game into Cammy, and we'll get a couple back next week. I think it will help us.
And with Barry, we can see why you wanted Lawrence Shankland for Rangers this time last year.
Yeah, listen, if you look at Hearts up top, I think Braga and Shankland are a good double act. There's no doubt. They've got a good relationship, and Shankland coming back fit at the right time, at the right stage, should I say, of the season, will be a massive boost for Hearts. And you've seen his qualities yesterday.
Charlie, we know you're going to Gorgie if Hearts win the title, but you can tell they're getting nervous. Their fans are getting nervous as well. I saw one of them.
We're going to see what they're all about, Paul.
Yeah.
They've stood up to the test this season when they've been asked questions and maybe had a defeat. They've responded well or dropped points. So we're going to see what they're all about. There's 6 games to go. I mean, I don't think there's any way they can not win this league and it not be a disappointing season. They've not been good in the cups. They've had disappointing runs in the cups, so now they need to go on and win this league, and let's see what they're all about. If they want to be in with the big boys, then they need to deal with the pressure. They also need to deal with the disappointment of potentially no winning the league. So we're going to see what they're all about, going to see what their players are all about. Come back to Martin Neal's interview there when he talks about the chances. And I think that's been the story of Celtic season. Yeah. The chances, even under Nonce, when times were bad, the amount of chances Celtic had yesterday, and goals change games. If you're 2 or 3-0 up at half time, all of a sudden Dundee begin to think, oh no, this can't be 4, 5 and 6 and become embarrassing. They maybe drop off and you dominate the game. Players start to look better, like McGregor's getting question marks over him. He then starts to dictate the game, and it all comes down to Benchara not taking his chances. He has to take them. They're clear chances. Even the one that Celtic score, it's on his left. I don't even know if he's left or right footed. That tells you everything you need to know. Does anybody know what foot he kicks with? Benchara, I'm not sure if he's left or right footed. He's swung with his left 7 yards out. He's got to put that in the bottom corner. Again, it's no enough for Celtic. They need to be more clinical and make games a lot easier for themselves, because I don't think you can make games that hard and continue to win them. Martin
O'Neill does say he doesn't know his best 11. We'll hear that shortly. We'll get your best 11 for Celtic. 0808 17 17 700. This is Danny Rule after Rangers 4-2 win.
Yeah, 3 points. I think is the most important thing. The first game after the national break is always a difficult one. You have to find the rhythm. I think we expected exactly this difficult game. I think you saw why they beat the last match. They're also Celtic. They have some threats. Finally I take the 3 points. If you take 90 minutes, then our performance was with up and downs. We had some really good moments, I think, especially after the 3-1. We played really enjoyable football with less touches, good movements, created a lot of chances to make a 4-5-1. And then if you not close the game and you kill them, then one situation it's enough to bring them back. But finally, we did it well as a group. I think our subs today made great impacts, and this is what we need.
Billy's been on, a Rangers fan, saying he's happy with Asgard. He wants to ask you, Barry, what you thought of him, and Dujon Sterling.
Well, first of all, Dujon Sterling, I've said plenty of times when I was manager last season, the guy could play at the top level. The only problem you've got with Duj is keep him fit week in, week out. But he's a quality player. Asgard's just no seen enough at times. There's no doubt he's got good quality. Better on Saturday, gets the goal. Rangers made a few changes, which I said at the start of the show. You're a bit worried in case it's going to affect them, but look, it didn't affect them. They got the result, and it's showing you that Rangers have got a real strong squad.
What would you do with Skov Olsen? Because he was back in on Saturday. I saw in the paper today in the Sun.
I just think it took him a bit of time to adapt to the Scottish game. You've got to remember he never played a lot of football before he came. There was a lot of expectations on him. Again, look, he set up a goal. I just want to see more. I'm greedy. I want to see more from a player of that quality. And I think if you ask Skov himself, he'll tell you exactly the same, that he has got to give more.
Charlie?
Yeah, well, you can see he's not settling in Scotland for whatever reason. He's a quality player, obviously. We know that with his history and the teams he's played at and the performances we've saw in the past. He's playing for Denmark. You're not a poor player if you play for Denmark. naturally off the ball, he's not the hardest worker and the most aggressive against the ball. So on the ball, you're expecting that desire and the quality to go and produce assists. There's clearly he's not comfortable in that Rangers team. Maybe being in Scotland, the pressures are playing with Rangers. We've seen it swallow up players before, and he's proven to be difficult now. He's 8 million, I think, is the price tag on his head if he does well. And Rangers want to buy him, but I don't think there's any way Rangers will be looking to pay that in the summer.
What do you think? Give us a call. We're going to go on the lines now after a weekend when St Mirren, what a win for them, 2-0 against Stephen Robinson's Aberdeen. Falkirk, top 6, congratulations to them, 3-2 at Motherwell. And Hibs battered Kilmarnock. That's a worry, Barry, for your old teammates and your the crew. Billy Dodds, obviously, there alongside the boss, Neil McCann. We'll talk about them shortly. We're here, the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. And in the second hour with Scottish Gas, we're going to be giving away, if you can beat the Pundit, £500. Declan is here with the money from Scottish Gas, along with Peter, who's looking after him with the cash. 500 would be nice to win, Barry, wouldn't it? Yeah,
it's always nice to win. Listen, it's tough times for some people.
Yeah.
So a wee 500 quid goes down a treat.
Charlie, was that the kind of bonus? Yep.
Barry will win you the money.
Oh, we'll see.
He's yet to fail.
We'll find out from Declan who he's going to choose.
You need to help me.
Yeah. Not such a good weekend for Partick Thistle, was it? But I heard Mark Wilson, I thought his interview was good. He said, well, still unbeaten at this point, at this moment. It's been quite a torrid time for anyone coming up against them the last few weeks. But St Johnstone winning 4-2. Shall we take our first caller? Ready, guys?
Yep.
Laurie is on the line in the East End of Glasgow. Hi, Laurie. Good evening.
Good evening, panel.
Right, Laurie.
My thoughts tonight, Paul.
Yes.
Derek and Charlie, of course. I think the Hearts are now starting to feel the pressure.
Okay, we're just boosting you a wee bit there, Laurie. It's a little bit low when you've got booming the mellifluous tones of Laurie, and we don't want to lose it. Yep. Okay, Laurie, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay, Paul?
Yes, that's better. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you why I think the situation is. I think the Hearts are suffering from a palpable lack of self-confidence. I think that's been evident over the last few weeks. I know that they're still in pole position. Yeah, I get that. They're a point clear. But they seem to be stuttering. There seems to be a kind of lack of self-belief in their squad. Personally, I think the pendulum is swinging in Celtic's direction, and I'll tell you why. Martin O'Neill and Danny Roll have had 3 head-to-heads thus far. Celtic have eliminated Rangers from 2 cup competitions. Admittedly, they didn't beat St Mirren in the final, yeah, accept that. But the Kai Boys Rangers from 2 cups. Rangers also had an opportunity to put distance between themselves and Celtic in the recent league game at Parkhead, where Celtic had lost Callum McGregor and Kieran Tierney. They failed to take advantage of that situation.
At
Celtic
Ibrox,
came back with 2 goals. The other thing that I'll say to you, Paul, is that there are 6 remaining fixtures. Celtic will play 4 of those games at Celtic Park.
Yes. Yeah.
Rangers, I think, will play 2, unless I'm mistaken.
No, you're right.
Hearts will play 3. So I think that, as far as I'm concerned, Martin O'Neill has got Celtic across the finishing line on a number of occasions, some seemingly impossible positions. Under Martin O'Neill, Celtic don't know when they're beat. They've got a never-say-die attitude. The panel's thoughts?
Well, the goal difference might worry you, but Charlie, what would you say to Laurie?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting point about the 4 home games and the 3 for Hearts, 4 for Celtic, 2 for Rangers. And Rangers, obviously, having played Dundee United and Aberdeen at home, they look like they can score goals and are free-flowing at home.
Yep.
It's an interesting point. I just look at, it's funny because I look at all 3 the teams at weekends and I don't overly fancy them, especially away from home. So that could have a factor. It's so hard to call, Laurie. I just think Celtic, going back to Celtic's point, a lot of my focus is on Celtic when I watch them. I don't really know what they're... Recent years we saw their style of football and how they play under Brendan Rodgers, Ange Postecoglou. Brendan Rodgers' style a bit slower than Ange's. Ange was obviously very on attack on the front foot. I just look at Celtic and I don't see what they're trying to do. They don't... They don't excite me. They don't pen teams in for long spells enough in the game. They concede too many goals. And it's like, I know they've got this never say die attitude, and it's brilliant, and it's no coincidence that Martin O'Neill's got them scoring these late goals, but is it sustainable, Laurie? I just don't know. I just feel that the performances need to improve.
Do you feel they've got that in them? Sorry, do you think they've got the players who've got that in them?
They don't have a great squad, to be honest, Paul. There's players there that need help. You've got Callum McGregor knows Scales, another one. I mean, Nygren's is scoring goals, so he gets away with it. But other than that, I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, I don't know why Atati never played yesterday, but there must be reasons for that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the new signings that come in, and you need help. You need these players to come and help you, and they're nowhere to be seen. You're relying on the same old faces. Maeda, obviously McGregor I've mentioned.
Sure. Maeda
Trusty
better
Scales.
yesterday, sorry. Maeda for you, better? Back on it?
It's alright.
Kind of.
It was alright, Paul. He runs about and he's always alright. But you need quality there run about him to help. I mean, Nygren's scoring goals, but other than that, there's not a lot of midfield play that he's helping. He's leaving nice. He's going up and playing as a striker at times and leaving McGregor in there with Chamberlain and a bit exposed with the two. I just don't understand. They're not quite playing direct a lot. They're not playing through. They're not kind of. You've not got a sort of clear idea on what Celtic are trying to do. They're not getting to the byline, putting crosses in. They're not dominating possession the way they should be. They're not taking their chances when they come along. They're not keeping clean sheets. But they're limping over the line. I don't know if that's sustainable. That would be my worry.
Barry, what would you say to Laurie?
It's an interesting point. Laurie puts, I would rather be in Celtic shoes with the 4 home games. Obviously, Rangers, if they're going to do it, have to do it the hard way. 4 away games. Falkirk's not going to be easy. Great result for them against a really good Motherwell team, and then you've obviously going to have Hearts, Celtic, and it looks like Falkirk again away. So, yep, I get where Laurie's coming from. I just look for a Rangers point of view. Rangers will need to do it the hard way, but see if you want to win championships, you want to win trophies, you need to go to places like that. You need to find a way to win. And I think Rangers will have to do it the hard way. But I'm quietly confident that Rangers have got that in the locker now. I see a different side to them.
Laurie, what would you say to Barry? He's still quietly confident that Rangers are going to do it.
Well, as you know, I've got nothing but respect for Barry. He's one of my favourite pundits and a sensible man and a very rational man. Danny Rowe will have to do what Barry done last season, namely win at Celtic Park. Now, I think that Martin has got the Indian sign over Danny Rowe for reasons I've already mentioned, i.e. the 3 previous encounters. Martin O'Neill is yet to taste defeat against Danny Rowe. The other thing that I would say is that of the remaining 6 fixtures, I think what makes Rangers' task more difficult is they have to travel to Tynecastle and Celtic Park. Hearts and Rangers, respectively, have got to visit Celtic Park. So I think that we're in good shape. If Martin O'Neill can get us across the line, I think it will be the most impressive title win since Wim Jansen halted Rangers 10 in a row.
Well,
it will be. Yep. It will be so impressive if that Celtic team, the way they've played, the way things have went this year, the disconnect between the board and the fans, and the lack of recruitment and how bad that's been, and the windows, and you go through the players that have come in. If Celtic with injuries with Carter Vickers and Johnson, you go through it, playing the whole season without a striker, it'll be nothing short of a miracle if Celtic go on and win this league. And I don't know how Rangers would recover it mentally, because Celtic have dominated for years, as we know. Rangers don't win it this year, and it'll be a sore one to take. It'll be, although Danny Rowe's recovered Rangers well, it'll be a failure if Rangers don't win the league this year. The same as it will be for Hearts, the same as it will be for Celtic. Whoever doesn't win, there's 2 teams that ultimately this season's going to be a failure.
And Laurie, you're always really measured. Is it not time to try and get fans back in there for these games, 4 home games? It'll be really important, because it's just been a different experience this season. Not for the better.
Paul, without a doubt, I've stated very often in this programme that the Green Brigade, I realise that they divide opinion. However, I think at this stage of the game, I cannot see it happening, because I think that the disconnect is too wide and it's unbreachable. But the Green Brigade, as far as I'm concerned, as a season ticket holder at Celtic Park, they lift the ground enormously, the way the Union Bears do at Rangers. when the Green Brigade is not in attendance at Celtic Park is like a cemetery with lights.
Wow. Yeah.
Laurie, can I just ask you quickly, right? If Celtic don't win the league, how do you view Martin O'Neill's second spell?
I cannot possibly utter one disparaging word about Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill, as far as I'm concerned, is a messianic figure, Charlie.
Yep.
The very fact that we're still in contention is entirely down to Martin O'Neill, not despite him.
Yeah.
Well, it's a resurrection. There is no question. It's Martin O'Neill. The club, some of them should be ashamed of how they've allowed the club to, in the last year. It's incredible. So Rangers, big chance for Danny Rule. Has he got the killer instinct, Barry? That's what we want to know. 6 games to go. Well, if he can't do it, when is he going to do it?
Yeah, well, we'll see in the next 6 games. Yeah. You just need to take one game at a time. It's all cliche. But I said it a couple of months ago. This is 100%, in my opinion, going to go down in the last game of the season.
And what about the big money strikers? Chermiti missed a couple of sitters. Shivanchara, will he play?
Well, in terms of Chermiti, Nadiri played up his top himself on Saturday and was impressive. Got his goal. Obviously come off. He's got a slight injury. I don't know, but the difference in terms of the signings in January, Nadiri's done pretty well. Romans has been a huge success. He was obviously out injured on Saturday, and Chuck Wani has been really good and solid. The only one still to get up to speed and show his true ability is Olsen.
Yeah. Chermiti obviously had some chances, missed them.
I wonder
did
why
well
he
in
made
the big games.
I wonder why he made the changes.
Injury,
weekend.
International.
Was that because of people who played too many minutes or whatever?
Yep. Fernandez away international duty. Obviously, Magoma came in for Romans because he's got an injury. Chermiti had been away playing a couple of games. Dujon Sterling came in for Tav, which was a bit of a surprise. But Dujon Sterling's a top player.
Laurie, final word, and to you, Charlie. What about Iheanacho? Here's Martin O'Neill.
Yeah, he has. I think that within 5 minutes of playing in one particular game early in the season, he pulled his hamstring. Then he comes on, and I had left at the time, but under Wolford, he plays in the cup final. He comes off again for a hamstring. So he's had a really frustrating time, no question about it. But he actually can control it. He's been a very, very decent player during his career. So delighted for him, naturally, and just delighted for the crowd. The crowd were magnificent the whole afternoon. Kept us going, in all honesty.
Charlie, Iheanacho?
Yeah, he's Celtic's best striker by a mile. Just need to get him on the pitch. I mean, he's been so frustrating from the injuries. Needs to be on the pitch, needs to be fit. Hopefully, international break. He's done a lot of running and he's ready to. I still wouldn't play him for the start just yet.
Really?
I would make sure he was definitely ready for the last 5 games.
Who would you play then? Because Chivanchara, well, would you play him again after yesterday?
I would love to play Iheanacho. No, if I wasn't playing Iheanacho, I'd put Maeda back up top, but and play another winger because I don't think Ventura.
Did you hear what Martin O'Neill said there? He's been a good player in the past.
I heard. Not a great player.
That's saying you need to show me more.
Yeah.
I need more from you.
Martin O'Neill will be like that. He's been around the block so many times.
I watched the game yesterday.
Nonsense.
He certainly looked fitter than I seen 2 or 3 weeks ago. So maybe that's one that he's put down to him.
Maybe now he's played half an hour. Can he then play the next game? Maybe potentially.
You're a professional, Charlie. You should be able to play.
I know. But just because he's proved that he just keeps blowing his hamstring, it's 5 games, 6 games to go. How do you get him in the most important games for the longest time?
And it's going to come down to the strikers as well. You look at the 3 teams. Look at Rangers, Chermiti, Majovski, Nadiri. You look at Celtic. Iheanacho for me is the best one out of them all. And then you look at Hearts, Braga and Shankland. It could come down to who produces the goods up top.
Laurie, Iheanacho gave you a happy Easter, I take it.
Let me just summarise what I feel about Iheanacho and Thomas Chavanchara. Iheanacho is now approaching match fitness. We've got him in time. The guy's a quality striker. He's got all the attributes under the sun. Chavanchara, Paul, I'm sorry. If you give that man 10 shots at John Lennon, he'd still be alive today.
Some man,
Laurie, you're some man.
How he never scored. He was through in goal yesterday, and it was his third chance. I just don't fancy him to score.
Thank you, Laurie. We'll take a quick break and then we're back. More calls next.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King.
What a game out there at Fir Park at the weekend. Falkirk winning 3-2. Barry, 5 goals. It was Falkirk.
What a result for Falkirk.
Yeah, isn't it?
They've been they've went about their business really quietly because obviously Motherwell have been so impressive this season. But again, I keep saying it, what a job John McGlynn's done at Falkirk. And you've got to give the players credit, because Stephen McGinn was in last week and we were talking about it, and there's quite a lot of the players that have came from League One into the Championship, into the Premier League. So yeah, done a fantastic job. And of course Rangers go there next Sunday. That's not going to be easy.
Are you going to go, Barry, to the match? You might be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be there. What about Barney Stewart? Another 2 goals, Charlie.
Yeah, his rise has been phenomenal. We spoke about it here. Playing for the university team and then stepping up, going a loan move to Dunfermline. Now he's banging goals in, and it's a great spot for John McGlynn, and that's the work he puts in the background. He goes himself to watch players. We've joked about it before, him videoing games on his phone and having long meetings with the players, but no, he deserves a lot of credit. If John McGlynn had a form name, I think it'd be a lot more respect.
What would you call him?
John McGlinson, Scandinavian.
Giovanni. No, something like that. Yeah. John McGlynn. Think how far you could have gone if you were like Carlos.
He's done a great job. Brilliant. Sure. I mean, if he continues the form and finishes close behind Motherwell, it'll be interesting to see how people speak about him and whether they start linking him to bigger jobs.
Calvin Miller got the penalty. He was involved in all 3 goals, Barry, as you know. Maybe a Scotland, maybe not a call-up, but he'll be in the 55.
I think he's got to bin me a shout because he's formed this season for Falkirk. Again, he's another player that's kind of... I just think he's found a place that suits him and a manager that obviously works for him. And as you mentioned there, Paul, I'd be shocked if he's not included in the 55.
Talking about Falkirk, let's go on the line now. Who's on from Falkirk? Robbie is on the line. Hi, Robbie. Good evening.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, guys. How are you doing? All right?
All right, Robbie.
Good.
Right, Robbie.
Barry and Charlie in top form. Hope you're having a good Easter.
Aye, no bad,
Good.
Paul. I just want to make we go back a couple of weeks ago, just after Celtic lost to Dundee United. I said elsewhere. I was reminding everybody, I says there's no way. It's guaranteed that Hearts go to Livingston and they're going to win. That's a difficult game. I didn't quite predict the game how it would go, but I was just reiterating elsewhere. It was on another radio show. I did say to them, bring up that point. Hearts going to Livingston. Hearts going to be a really, really difficult game. Well, who's next? Well, I've got bad news for you, Barry. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Celtic fan, saying this clear tinted specs. There's going to be twists and turns. It doesn't mean to say Rangers are going to not going to win the league because with this prediction. But your team are next for dropping points, mate. I mean, actually, after the split, if Celtic go away to Falkirk, it's one of the most feared games out the 5. Celtic have got 3 at home, Rangers and Hearts guaranteed. And I think if they go to Falkirk away, I'm not even confident myself, and I'm a Celtic fan. So your team's next, Barry, for dropping points, I'm afraid. Are you confident about this game next week, Barry?
I'm never overconfident, but I think it'll be a tough. I just says that when we were speaking about Falkirk's good win against Motherwell. I think it's going to be tough, and you need to be bang on it if you're going to come away for Falkirk nowadays with points in the bag.
Charlie, what do you feel?
I watched Celtic at Falkirk earlier in the season. Very lucky to win. Nygren scores a header for a set piece, and then Falkirk had about 2 or 3 gilt-edged opportunities that they missed. How they never get something for the game, I don't know. So it's another place you wouldn't fancy going. I mean, if you look at Hibs as well into that, they're second in the form table in the league. So listen, there's going to be twists and turns. There is going to be going to Falkirk's not a place any team would like to go.
But again, Charlie, see if you want to win things, you've got to go to difficult places.
Yeah.
Like Falkirk, there's no doubt. And there's plenty of teams struggled this year going to Falkirk.
Robbie, you're on the predictions. When are you going to predict a 3-goal win for Celtic? Because look at the chances yesterday. How did you feel at halftime when you saw so many squandered?
Paul, there was actually 2 that were actually symmetrical, but at either half, it was the same player involved. It was Chavin Chara through in the first half, heavy touch, and just before he got substituted, you mind of that one, Charlie? In the second half, the first 10 minutes, he was through again, heavy touch at the other side. See, the thing is, I think that boy's got something about him, but the only thing is, I don't know, like is he just seems to be. I don't know, just in front of goal, it's just pulling that trigger. See, there's some guys out there that are instinctive. They just bang right away. There was actually a player that with Celtic, he needed a lot of time on the ball before he actually put it away. He needed the extra touch where it was playing somebody through to put them in for an assist or a few other touches, too many, because he was that good in the ball. And he actually is playing well now in Lawns and that boy's odds on Edward. He wasn't as instinctive. Saying that, Ian Archer's got a wee bit of that about him, as the composure in front of goal. Do you like that about him, Charlie? It's not just that goal yesterday. I like him, and he was at Red Star Belgrade when that wee chip. It just seems to have that wee bit of good composure about him in front of goal. It can be instinctive, and that boy Shavin Chara.
I think if you'd gave any actual both the chances yesterday, whether he's got the pace to bust through and go 1-on-1 with the keeper, but I would still want to see him in that position, because he would bust through and maybe pick somebody out. And if any of the chances fell to him, even the one that Yang ends up chipping over the keeper and hitting off, or Nygren hits it off him to put it in, I think, and he actually puts it in the bottom corner. I just think I don't fancy Shavin Chara to go through and score on any chance he gets. And as I said before, it's quite alarming that I don't really know. Is he left-footed, Robbie? I don't know. That chance felt he's right. He'd one with his left and inside. He doesn't look comfortable in either for me. The one attribute he got, he's a powerful runner, but not enough for me.
Martin O'Neill said he's not sure what his best 11 is. Charlie, what would your be? Who would you have up front for Celtic?
I think it's clear as day that any actual would be your striker, but he can't give you 90 minutes just yet. Maybe one more 45 minutes and then he's ready for 90, or maybe he'll just play him 90. I don't know. You need to be cautious with these hamstring injuries, haven't had them before. I would try and get an extra midfielder on there. I would probably play Chamberlain wide left and let him float inside and let Kieran Tierney go past him on the left hand side. And when Celtic are in possession, go with a back three. So a back three, Donovan, Trusty and Scales, just in possession. That allows you four centrally, allows you Kieran Tierney to push on the left, Maeda on the right and the actual up top. But listen, it changes week to week. That's what I see right now. But you can get Tenecti coming on next week and all of a sudden he gets an assist and he becomes your best winger. It's just so flaky, a lot of the things that are happening at Celtic.
Robbie, but Rangers, and I hear what you're saying, what you think will happen at the weekend, but they're getting the goals. Look at their goal difference, plus 32. Celtic plus 23. 9 goals behind them.
Aye, Paul, I just want to actually just make a point. It's actually quite an interesting thing. Everybody, and a lot of folk in the media and that, when I listen to Mace radio shows, I always say that Celtic have never ever been in this title race at this juncture of the season and all that, going down to the last handful of games. Well, I forgot to. I want to just correct everybody on that. Exactly 2 years ago, post-split, it was between Celtic and Rangers, and Philip Clement's Rangers, you'll mind, they dropped points to Ross County. And Dundee. So that was right down to the nitty-gritty. That was post-split. So Rangers sort of, I don't know how to say this because Barry's on the phone, I would say it the opposite way about it if it was my team. Rangers bottled it a wee bit then, and Celtic were the one that had to win their games and then they got it done. It takes two to tango, as we know. I mean, that's how,
Would that be fair, Barry? Did they bottle it 2 years ago, Rangers?
Yeah, because listen, it's the business end of the season. This is when you've got to get results. And listen, we'll find out next weekend. I don't think that's going to be a shoe-in for Celtic either. St Mirren coming.
It hasn't been all season.
No. Hearts have got Motherwell coming to Tynecastle, and obviously Rangers have got a difficult away tie to Falkirk. And it comes down to bottle a lot of these games. It's not how you play, it's finding a way to win, and it takes a certain type of character and personality when you come in, you come up against teams where they make it so difficult for you.
Danny Rowe said he's really happy with the goals scored.
Yeah, I think general we come from 13 points from behind. I'm not sure how was it. The goal difference -1 when I took over, and now we have a plus. I think it's good to score a lot of goals. I think our supporters should be, especially at home, happy with our goals. I wish that we have the clean sheets again. Yeah, this is also part because you will not have in every game so many opportunities to score. You need sometimes also 1-0, like in St. Mirren. Yeah, then you win this 1-0. This is fine. General compliment to my group so far. to my players. Big steps forward. But my job is now to keep them hungry, be not over, and that means tomorrow recover, training, and then we go again.
Charlie, what do you think about?
Yeah, he's talked about all the stuff he's done positive since he took over for Russell Martin, and it's good, but it all means nothing if they don't win the league. If they don't win the league this year, having spent, I know it's no Danny Rowe, but it's nearly 50 million Rangers have spent, and I'm no. It's not because I prefer Celtic. It's true for Celtic as well. If they don't win, it's disappointing. It's failure. And the same as Hearts now. They're in this position, although they've only spent about 5 million this year. It means nothing now. There's 6 games to go, and it's that tight. 2 teams are going to be disappointed.
Barry, you know Derek McInnes really well. He played alongside you for a while. How will he be? How do you think he's reacting to this? Because he's led.
Listen, of course there's going to be nerves, Paul, because not been in this situation. And you could hear him in his interview yesterday. He wasn't happy with the 2 goals he conceded. They were poor goals to concede. And it's a nervy stage. Listen, I've been involved a number of times getting into this. The last 6 games where it's nip and tuck. And of course there's going to be it's going to be different for Derek because he's not been in this situation, because his team is sitting at the top of the league, and they have been sitting at the top of the league for the last 6 or 7 months, and they've sat at the top of the league because they've deserved to be there. But if I'm looking at the table just now, I would love to be in Hearts' position. You're still top, you're a point ahead, and it's all to play for. And obviously he would have went in after the game been really disappointed, because I think all the expectations were on Hearts to win because it was top against bottom. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. I was at Rangers game 3 or 4 weeks ago, and Rangers were 2-0 down with 70 minutes played. It was a tough place to go. So we'll see how they handle another big situation next Saturday, because Motherwell are coming in. They're a difficult team to play against, Motherwell. The
split becoming soon. We know that. I think the fixtures are out this week because we know where everyone's finishing, the top 6. Charlie, Robbie mentioned about Barry taking Rangers to Celtic last year and winning 3-2, wasn't it? Can Celtic beat them in this title decider? One of the deciders. Every one of them. Hearts are in there. We know that. Rangers, Celtic. Do you think Celtic can beat Rangers?
Of course they can, but they need to have better performances than they did at Ibrox. The performance at Ibrox was... They offered nothing in possession, absolutely nothing. I think 1 shot on target. If they had that, Rangers dominated possession without creating so much. But what they did do is defended their box well. So they need to do that again and then offer much more a threat in possession. Can they beat Rangers? Of course they can, but
will they?
Can Rangers beat Celtic? Of course they can. Will they? Geez, if you get a crystal ball, it's genuinely, even the Hearts games against Celtic and Rangers versus Hearts, it's virtually a toss of a coin, Paul. It's who's got the desire, who wants it more, who's willing to step up on the day, who can deal with the pressure. It's why it's so exciting. None of us actually know.
If you were Danny Rowe, would you ask Barry? Would you say, Barry, can we just talk about this game ahead of it?
Well, why not? You get every bit of information you can. What's your opinion? What do you think we should do? Of course, why not? Danny Rowe, what was it he said before the last one? Did he say Rangers are the best team, or what was it? He came out and said something, didn't he?
He's already won it, Celtic Park.
Yep.
Aye, he has. He's won. It was a non-say Celtic team, right enough, and but still.
But if you remember that game, Charlie, at half time, I was buzzing for Rangers to come in 1-0 down.
That's right. Aye. Another game Celtic never took their chances.
He made a slight change, and Rangers battered Celtic in the second half.
It's funny because it was the Nancy days. You kind of almost forget that, Barry. But that was maybe your biggest day as Rangers manager, winning.
Yeah, listen, it's always a tough. Even when I played, when you go to Celtic Park, listen, Paul, you need a bit of luck as well. You just can't. You never go and dominate a full 90 minutes. We did for 60 minutes. Celtic come back into it, and then we have to make changes, and sometimes changes work for you, changes don't. And thankfully that day the changes made a difference, and that's going to be a big thing for the teams getting into these final 6 games. People who come off the bench need to make a difference as well.
And they did yesterday and Saturday. Robbie, thanks so much for your call. Charlie's hoping it's true.
Cheers, Robbie.
That Falkirk do it next weekend. Barry, not so much. Quick break and then we're back.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King.
Paul Cooney, Barry Ferguson and Charlie Mulgrew. Charlie's got the bonnet on. Is that a golfing top or is that New York?
My hair was a busk outs before I left, so I shoved a hat on. No more, no other thinking than that, Paul.
So you were with an Open champion last week for your pitch to par. Who was it?
Paul Laurie.
Yeah.
So he won the Open 99. I started 6 points behind him. 6 shots behind him.
Wow.
Sorry, 6 shots in front of him.
In front of him.
In the back nine at Carnoustie.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The scene of his great win.
And what did
So
it finish?
6 points.
Can you tell us?
Nah.
Oh,
come on.
I'm telling you now, though,
Yeah.
right? Tune in this Wednesday. It's
Okay.
I outdone myself, and it's a really exciting match. His golf is at another level. See somebody that good up close, unbelievable. And he's a great guy as well. So we had a really good game.
I take it that's the first time you've played an Open champion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and his own backyard.
Aye. Yeah.
He told me a story about it when he won the Open. He woke up that morning. He fed his newborn baby, and then he drove down to Carnoustie to play.
Was he not staying at the old
Nope.
course?
Drove down, played, and then drove back home with the claret jug in the back of his car.
No. Wow.
True story. Mad, innit?
As an Aberdonian.
Yeah, it was.
Barry, winning the Open. You love your golf as well. Do you ever-
I'm obviously going to. I'm allowed to play golf next week. So
Oh, good. Yeah.
looking forward to that. Get back because my back. I've been struggling with my back for a couple of months, and then
Great timing, the Masters and stuff.
I'll get on
Yeah.
Charlie's. What will I call it?
You got to go
Pitch
on
the
it.
par.
Aye, but YouTube channel.
YouTube
Yeah.
channel.
So we'll
yeah.
go on
YouTube.
Rangers against Celtic. It'll be fiery.
Oh, you're going to do it for that? Excellent.
Oh, do you like
yeah.
with a team?
No,
No.
we're playing against each other.
Yeah, it's okay. Good. Love it.
Former Rangers captain, former Celtic captain. Here's the current Celtic
It
captain.
depends.
Yeah.
It depends on
yeah.
what course we're playing on.
Where do you want to play?
You can choose.
Aye.
Yeah.
You choose.
All right.
Where are
So I
you?
need to,
Ah.
that shows that I need to pay then.
What is it? Loch Lomond, Glen Eagles?
No, you choose. I'll organise.
No, I'll
Somebody.
right,
You
Okay.
choose.
All right.
perfect.
James is saying move on. But no, let's stay on it in the golf. Actually, Declan, I think he likes his golf. Probably, I'm looking, he does. Peter, not so much. Yeah, the guys from Scottish Gas. Somebody remember with Pick Your
It's
Pundit.
a great game, to be fair. Do you know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I like? I like when you get out there and
Yeah.
you just forget about everything
Yeah.
for 3.5, 4 hours. It's a great game.
I would recommend anybody to get in. It's life changing stuff.
Oh, you absolutely
Out in
love
nature,
it. Yep.
in nature, walking, bit of peace.
I would love. Do you play golf?
Badly. Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
You should come out with us.
Right, well, yeah.
Fancy it?
Aye. Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
We're on.
Just need another caddy and that'll be us. I do enjoy it, yeah.
It's a great
So
game.
you can't beat it. But you get obsessed with golf, don't you?
I know.
But I tell you,
Yeah.
but he's right. But see, when you watch the pros,
Yeah.
how good are they?
Aye.
They're
Not a level.
frightening.
Who's going to win, do you think? The Masters. Who do you fancy? So it was Rory last year, which was absolutely brilliant, wasn't
Patrick
it?
Reed.
Patrick Reed.
A stab in the dark. I don't know anything about golf.
Barry, what do you think? It's not going to be Tiger, obviously, after...
No, I know.
no, he's not.
No, I know.
Not mention his driving.
I don't know.
Who do you
I'll
think?
come back to you.
Okay,
There's a few.
all right. We'll come back to the race. What a race for the title it is. We told you, well, you know the situation right at the top. Rangers winning, going top of the table. Then Hearts drawing at Livy, back to the top of the table where they are, 1 point ahead of Rangers. And then Celtic 1-1. And then late in the game, Ian Acho scoring 2-1. I mean, they were all over Dundee this coming weekend. What a lineup that's going to be as well. And we want to talk about Kelly. We want to talk about St Mirren at the weekend. And Falkirk fans are on. Alec is on, a Falkirk fan, saying, thanks for what you said about the manager. He deserves, arguably, to be manager of the year. I don't think he's going to get that. But Barry.
He's been twice in a row, has he not?
Yes, he has. Yeah.
He's got the award.
Yeah. It's incredible. Third tier, second tier, now in the top tier.
Just
and a
the
small
difference,
budget.
the difference he's made to players. He's made them better, no doubt. Charlie mentioned earlier on, he's going away down to university football and plucking out guys like Barney Stewart, who has been a revelation this season. So, yep, he's done an amazing job. And it was interesting to listen to Stephen talk about him, how he's how well organised he is, and he likes everything structured, and it was a good insight.
Let's get an insight to the managers. Here's Derek McInnes after the match yesterday, the 2-2.
I thought we've chucked away 2 points, to be honest. I thought the 2 goals we lost were awful. and that has to be said, because the first goal, the press is all wrong, people in between, and we never really recovered that. I thought we had some good spells in the first half, great header and a great goal from Lawrence, and there was more positives towards the end of the first half than anything. So we spoke at half time about just trying to move the ball a bit quicker. Livingston set up in a kind of counter-attacking shape with a 5-box-1, and on transitions they're always going to have a wee bit of threat, so it was more important that we really looked after the ball. And I thought at the start of the second half there was some good moments, culminating in the second goal. Again, you just felt the pressure was coming, and I thought we were so clean and polished, and we looked at a team at the top end of the table, and instead of enjoying being in charge of the game, and instead of enjoying being in the lead, we inexplicably gift Livingston a goal. I mean, you've got to credit they work it and they find the extra man, but it was so unnecessary, and you can't keep coming off the canvas and going again with that. Disappointed. You look at the context here, we go top of the league with 6 games to go, so we're no too negative or whatever, but just felt as though we were so good at times in the game, and when we connected the game and polished and played into our strikers and really clean with our work, we looked like a very good side. But there was too many moments of sloppiness. We've got to be honest with the fact that we've lost 2 points a day from losing 2 very poor goals.
Charlie, the fans, sorry, when you go.
A lot of their games they've won 1-0 this year. If you look at them, Hearts usually win their games. They'll get a goal in the first half, they'll hang on, they'll score late in games, they'll give clean sheets, give their chance to win games. The minute they conceded a goal yesterday, I thought, they could struggle here because they're not used to this position. Then they came back into it with Shankland coming back, a huge player for them. And then as soon as they scored the start of the second half, Paul, I put it off. I was like, that'll be it. They'll win 3 or 4-1 here. Yeah, I thought they would then go on. And it really would have been a big statement, I think, to come back for 1-0 down at Livingston. Rangers happened to Rangers a few weeks ago. Celtic have struggled there. I just think that it would have been a big statement, and they'd have put a lot more pressure on Celtic, but then they never. And I just think even the way Livingston dominated the game in the last 20 minutes, they score a nice goal, they dominate the game. They look like the ones that were ready to go on and win it. I don't know if Hearts are potentially just starting to feel it a wee bit, but they need to get back to. They want to win the league. They're a team that keeps clean sheets and wins the next games and don't create loads of chances, but they're the steady defence. But conceding 2 goals is they'll struggle to win games doing that.
That's where his frustration's coming from. They were dominant in the second half. When they get that second goal, that's when you want your players to relax and see out the game. If you're not going to get a third goal, just make sure you don't concede an equaliser. And you can hear it in Derek's. You can hear it in Derek's interview there. He's not a happy man.
It's Paul Lurry on the phone here for Bojos.
Don't know what happened there.
For Big Charlie. The fans are going to be massive for them, and I know you guys have been saying, some of them have been saying, they could be nervous next week. It's a home game.
I mean, Tynecastle is a brilliant stadium to play in, but they'll have big expectations now. They'll be putting pressure on the players, and it's how the players handle that, because they wouldn't have had this type of pressure before, Paul. Let's be honest, because they've never been in a title race, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it. But at this moment in time, they're still sitting top of the league, a point ahead of Rangers.
It's the fans as well, Paul, at home. I know Dale's saying that they're unbeaten at home, I think he said there. So that indicates that he expects to win probably the 3 home games. But the Hearts fans won't have been in this position often.
No.
So they're not used to it as well. Like they'll get nervous. And you can feel that energy in a stadium. So it's going to be an interesting end of the season.
Are you going to be buying a pint in Gorgie?
Well, I've said it now, so
I think you're going to have to do it.
Do you know who's a big
I'll
miss for
find
them?
the quietest pub.
I know you're going on about Shankland and Devlin, and rightly so, and Halkett was out about Finlay. Finlay's a big miss for him at the back.
Yeah.
News is next, then we're back. 0808 17 17 700.
Football Show with Burger King. Watch live at 5 p.m. weekdays on YouTube. Join the conversation on 0808 17 17 700. Talking Scottish football first.
Thanks for making the switch. Paul Kinney here with the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. Charlie Mulgrew, the former Celtic, Blackburn Rovers and Scotland star, 44 caps, former Celtic captain, and Barry Ferguson. Similar number of caps, Barry, wasn't it? Former Rangers, Blackburn Rovers, Birmingham City, Down south, a lot of games on yesterday and today. I see Philippe Clement had a win this afternoon, so Norwich winning 2-1.
They're crazy. At Easter, they do Friday, Monday.
Aye,
The games down there.
And it was Millwall today, wasn't it, in one of the games, and they lost. Yeah,
because they could have went second.
That's right.
Millwall.
Yeah. They could be coming up to the top flight. Do you still keep an eye on your clubs, Birmingham, Blackburn?
Always had good times there. Still speak to a few people from Blackburn and a few people for Birmingham, and it's always good to look them up and see how they're doing. I was actually doing Birmingham when Rangers played them pre-season, so
you were.
It was good to see a lot of familiar faces, but they've been took over with American billionaires. They've pumped a lot of money into the club.
Bit like your own club at Rangers, isn't it? The big money's in from America. Charlie, you keep in touch down at Blackburn?
Yeah, check the results. Yep.
Fleetwood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
not so much.
Not so much Fleetwood. I never had a long time there, but I look at Blackburn result.
You've got friends there still, haven't you?
Yeah. Still get people that are in the building there. Yeah.
See the training centre. Were you up the top or down the bottom?
We were up the top.
So it changed. We were down the when I was there. It was down the bottom.
And
the academy was up the top.
Allardyce or something changed it. Was it?
Oh, did he?
So,
yeah. Declan from Scottish Gas and Peter are in, and during the break there, during the news, we're talking about football players of the past. Barry, and it's great to talk about different people that have come through, and people in the west of Scotland absolutely love football.
I played in a charity match last weekend in Cork against Man United.
Yes,
and Karol Poborski was playing for Man United.
How was he?
I spoke to him. Remember, he scored that goal in 1996. The
long hair.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before. Somebody scooped me that. I remember being. I said to this team, I remember being. I probably never understood a word I said, but I said I remember being in the street and then trying to recreate that. Me and my pals try to do the old scoop, but it shows that the effect you can have on the youngsters.
You get Javan Chara.
Oh, he's not got the
Try it.
shovel foot. That's what Henry Lennon used to call Azagiri.
Is that right?
Stop shooting shovel foot.
Yeah. Somebody earlier on mentioned Edouard. Were they talking about Javancha at that point, or had they moved on to Iheanacho? Was that when Robbie was on?
No, he was talking about how Iheanacho reminds of Edouard. Edouard takes his time to pick the right decision, but often does it with quality.
I think if you get him firing, he's a right good player.
Would he worry you a bit then, Barry? If you're for the Rangers Celtic game,
I remember
Rangers,
back when he was at Man City, and I think Leicester bought him from Man City for an absolute fortune. And I think he had a year or two with Leicester where he was like he was top notch, and his kind of career's faded away a little bit. But you can see there's quality in him. There's no doubt. It's just try to get him fit. But when you're at that age, you're a professional, you should be able to last a fair amount of the game.
I think when he came for, was it Sevilla they signed him from? I don't, he doesn't look like he trained properly or played many games. So as a player, you need to be, if you're not on it, and you're not playing games, you need to be training hard to keep that strength in your legs. And if you're not, you'll pick up injuries, and then it's hard to keep coming back and not pick up wee niggles.
0808 17 17 700, the Go Radio Football Show with Burger King. What about St Mirren? Jackie's been on saying, well done, Craig McLeish. What performance. Ayunga, what a goal. And then Alex Gogic, header as well.
Yeah. I deserves a lot of credit, the way he's got them playing. But did you see the handball? So obviously the Aberdeen players took the free kick, the walls jumped up, and the arms by side that you can see he's made a clear movement towards the ball. I don't know why that's not been looked at or given as a penalty. I think the argument would be probably coming for the refs that it's too close to his body, but you can see he's made a clear effort to again, it's a handball rule again that nobody seems to know or understand, or there's no consistency. But yeah, I thought it should have been.
I think Aberdeen are in trouble.
You said this a couple of weeks ago after the Rangers game, Barry. Has anything about Stephen Robinson?
When I seen him at Ibrox a couple of weeks ago, Paul, he's got a big job in his hands there. I know they're none of his signings, and look, he knows how to organise a team. He's a very good manager, but I think they can get dragged right into it. I know Kilmarnock lost against Hibs, but between Dundee, Aberdeen, St Mirren and Kilmarnock, I think they're going to fight it out for that.
What would worry me about Aberdeen
spot
is they've not had the new manager bounce, have they?
No.
Steve Robinson's no seem to get a tune out the boys, and that's a bit worrying, because usually a new manager comes in, regardless, there's a reaction to try and get on his side. I've not seen that for Aberdeen, and that's worrying.
And you can see in his interview, he's fuming.
Do you think he gave the players too much stick too early?
No, I think. Listen, Paul, this is another thing. Sometimes you've got to be straight with people. Listen, if you're not producing the goods, you need to be told. Can he tiptoe round about them? He's obviously told them a few home truths, and some of them maybe can't handle that.
Aberdeen, fourth bottom, alongside St Mirren, both on 30 points. Killie on 27, Livy on 16. Barry, you getting a little bit worried again for Killie? They had a bounce?
No, I think, depending on the split and the home games, I don't really know what Kilmarnock's home games will be. I still think Kilmarnock will have enough to get out it. And I'm not just saying that because of Neil McCann and Billy Dodds.
Yeah.
I've watched them a couple of times, and I think they've got enough quality to get out that playoff spot.
Yeah, I think it'll be so tight. It's hard again. It's like the title. You don't know. It's hard to call. St Mirren are looking good. They seem to have kicked on and picking up results. Will Kilmarnock get out it? I don't know. I mean, you'd fancy it to be really tight. You'd fancy them to finish. Right now, you wouldn't bet against a finish above Aberdeen, right enough. But it's really hard to call.
They need to win this weekend. They'd want to finish ahead of the split with a home win against Dundee. What did you think of Dundee yesterday, Charlie?
They're all right. They'll stay in games. They'll stay in it to the end. They're good defensively set up. They've got good wingers in Congreve and forget the other boy's name. Is it? I forget his name. Anyway, he's a good player. They're quick and they've got a threat. Obviously Simon Murray up front who'll nick a goal. They've got enough quality in their team to go and give anybody a game. Yeah, I thought they were quite good, Paul. I like what Stephen Presley's done there.
Barry?
No, I think he's done a good job. I enjoy watching them. I think they'll be fine this season. I think they'll be even better and stronger next year.
Let's hear the three managers then. One of them's probably going to be the manager of the year. Who's it going to be? Nobody knows just yet. Here's Martin O'Neill after the win.
Naturally getting the winning goal. We should have been out of sight in the first half. We missed quite a number of chances. And I always felt it might just come back to haunt us, really. Dundee having the advantage of the wind in the second half and down whatever particular slope it is as well too. So, but for us conceding the penalty, could have just caved in and said, well, that's not going to be our day. And we fought back. And it's great great for us to win the game and keeps us there. We're still fighting on.
Charlie, if they hadn't got the win, they were out of it, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, and I still don't think they have a slip up. I think they need to be 100%.
Yep.
And win the next 6 games. I think Martin O'Neill said that, come out and said that. I think it's true. And again, they ground another one out yesterday. It's going to be really hard. They've got a bit of a mountain to climb to get the League One.
But St Mirren, well, we're not going to talk about this coming weekend. Barry, here's Danny Rule, his running the rule over the Rangers win on Saturday.
Yeah, 3 points. I think that's the most important thing. The first game after the national break is always a difficult one. You have to find the rhythm. I think we expected exactly this difficult game. I think you saw why they beat the last match. They're also Celtic. They have some threats. Finally I take the 3 points. If you take 90 minutes, then our performance was with up and downs. We had some really good moments, I think especially after the 3-1. We played really enjoyable football with less touches, good movements, created a lot of chances to make a 4-5-1. And then if you not close the game and you kill them, then one situation it's enough to bring them back. But finally, we did it well as a group. I think our subs today made great impacts, and this is what we need.
Barry, there were moments though where it was tight, wasn't it, when United came back?
They were in control of it, and then obviously Dundee United get back at 2-1. Asgard gets a third goal. They're pretty comfortable. Dundee United get a goal back, and then it becomes a bit edgy, and they hit the post at 3-2. Yeah. Dundee United. I think Jack Butland gets his fingertips to it, which was a brilliant save, and that's a wee bit of luck you need at times. And they went up the park and thankfully got the fourth goal and seen it out. I didn't think it was going to be an easy game, but just because obviously Dundee United would have been on a high for the previous result against Celtic. But again, most important thing, it was a bit up and down the 90 minutes, but you win the game, you get the 3 points and you move on.
I couldn't see it from it, whether or not Jack Butland got his hand to it. But
I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt.
Yeah,
it looks as if he has got a slight touch on it.
On the flip side, the Dundee United goalkeeper this year has been a bit of an issue.
The first goal.
What's he doing?
The first goal, the first goal gives encouragement, and it's happened the whole season. Jim Goodwin is demented with it. You can tell. He's palmed it right down for Nadiri. When you go to Celtic Park in Ibrox, you need to keep it tight for as long as you can. When you get gifted a goal after the goalkeeper obviously gives you a mountain to climb.
Why does he
and
not
then
just...
I know, put it over the bar or catch it.
Yeah,
exactly, Paul.
It's
and then
a strange decision.
There's another one as well where he should probably save. And if your goalkeeper's not making saves, it's so hard as a defender to keep clean sheets and have any belief that he can be behind you. So yeah,
they opened up Rangers a bit. Fata's a good player, isn't he?
Fata's a good player. Satsford's a good player. Ferry, the boy on the left's a really good player. They've got some good players. Jim Goodwin's recruited well, but they've missed Walton that they had for 2 years there, and they had a lot of good clean sheets with the help of the defence. Arguably, they've recruited better this year, but the one area is the goalkeeper that's not
Big
been it's not been steady enough.
He's stood out, Fata, for me.
Yeah,
I know he's on loan, but every time I've watched Dundee United, he looks as if he's the one that can open a few doors. There's no doubt about that.
Friday, we had the news that somebody's injured at Rangers. The manager didn't want to say who it was. We speculated. I think we said everyone apart from 2 Romans.
Yeah, he has on first day during the training he felt something on the squad in front, and we scanned him then. It's not a big one, but still serious. Hopefully it's just 2 more games that he's ready latest to the second game in the split. The good thing is we have 1 more extra between Falkirk and then the first game in the split, and let's try everything. Key is that now Jaden is ready. It's always important. I said this many times. Jaden helped us as well to get a lot of points when he played as a starter, and we will help them, and Tuur will do everything as well to be ready as soon as possible.
But Jaden Magoma, but he's not Romans, is he?
No, but he has done well. I hear what the manager's saying there. He's in the past, and you've got to remember he's only 19 years of age as well. Yep. So he's young, but that's a big miss, Romans. He's been a great buy for Rangers. He's impressed me every time I've seen him. I didn't know he was going to boot for that length of time with the manager just saying there. So he will be a big miss, but that's the reason why you carry a squad.
Charlie?
Yeah, big miss for Rangers. He's been brilliant. One of the players this season I've been really impressed with Rangers as new signings. No doubt can go on again to be a successful player for Rangers or move on again to bigger things. So he's somebody you want, and if there's a doubt that he's not going to be ready for the next 2 games, I would make sure he was ready for the last 3. If I was Danny Rowe, just get a good 3 games up. You don't want a recurrence because he can have a big moment and big moments, and not just defensively but attacking wise. He gets in that back post, so you'd make sure he's right.
Andy's been on 0808 17 17 700. A Rangers fan saying, Scov Olsen, thank you, but no thank you. The manager was asked about the player who'd just come back at the weekend.
Yeah, I think general, and this is in football sometimes up and downs. I think Scov brings a lot of quality with, and he brings also a lot of game understanding with. He should, and this is the key what I spoke with him individual, and some moments he can risk more, he can more believe in his strength, and I think this is a part, believe in your strength, because he has everything what he to play on in this league on a fantastic level, to play here, to score, to make assists. He showed this in some moments, and we will help them, and then we have to prepare them for the next game, and then let's see. And I think this is also a big part for us. If some player or someone is maybe not by 100%, I have a chance to sub players in, and then it means not that there is a big foul and I am against them. No, I will support him, and then he can train again well, and if he trained well, then there's still a chance again to play again for us. It's an open competition. I think yesterday we trained both teams. If you ask me who starts, sometimes you think this team could start, but also this team could start, and this gives me a great feeling at the minute. And this is very important. You see it goes so quick. Tuur out, maybe Ryan out. Hopefully not too long. Let's see what happens. Everyone has to be ready, and this is key.
Barry?
In terms of Scov Olsen, I see where he's coming from. When I'm watching him, it looks to me if he suffers for a bit of self-belief. And then obviously I look at his history. He's played at some big clubs, and he's a Danish international. There's no doubt he has got quality, but we're just not seeing enough of it. But that's up to the manager to encourage that to come out more, because there's definitely more in him.
I think when you look at his qualities as a player, it reminds me of somebody I played with, like Chris Commons. That type of player, left-footed, kind of no quick, no very good defensively, out of possession, but can go and score goals and have assists. Exactly what Barry says there. He's got his self-belief isn't there, his confidence. Would that come from a player being comfortable in his environment? He's no settled right, but he maybe just needs a right good performance and something just to click from and feel at home. But you know he's a good player, just whether he does it for Rangers or not, we're going to see.
Have you seen that happen to really good players before, Charlie?
Can happen to MD, Paul. It's the game of football. It's happened to myself.
Did it?
It's happened to myself a few times.
Self-doubt?
It comes all the time. It comes, it spells in your career where it's the opposite. You've got complete belief in everything you're doing. There's times where you feel like you can't string two passes together. You can't win a ball in there. You can't read the game. Maybe getting bullied for a striker or getting beat by a winger. Or you get possession. You can't see a pass. The picture's not there because you're lacking confidence. But then there's times where your best points of your career, Barry, you'd have felt it, is you're just in complete flow and you just see everything so clearly. When somebody once described it to me, like between confidence and no confidence, is for a striker it would be the ball coming to him in the box, and it'd be like a golf ball coming at pace when he's no confidence. Yeah, when he's feeling confident, it's like a beach ball. Everything's so clear, and you can it comes so slow and you can see it. And it happens to every player. It can happen so quickly as well. It can be one game. It can be a one moment in a game. If you don't get started right, it can be anything. So listen, there's a good player. It doesn't make him a bad player. Can he play for Rangers? I don't know.
Barry, did it ever happen to you?
Yeah, listen, you go through periods in your career when you're just, you know, you're not at it, but then that's when you look to the manager or the coaching staff or even your teammates. And I sensed that when I was captain, if somebody was going through a tough time, just take them to the side and let them believe and say to them that, listen, you're a right good player. We've all went through it, and it's just managing the player through that process. But you can see, as I mentioned, there's no doubt he's been at like Bologna, Club Bruges. Yeah, he's at Wolfsburg. They spent £12 million on him. He's got 40 odd Danish caps. There's a real good footballer in there. It's just he's probably took out of the 4 signings, he's took the most time to adjust, and it's a difficult place to play as well. He's probably came here and thought, wow, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of expectations. But again, I've seen a lot of players suffer for that. It's just about helping them and managing them through it.
The 8 or 9 million, Barry, would you pay it for him to make it permanent?
At this moment in time, no, there would be a question mark. But listen, he could, in the next 6 games, go and light it up. And
I think
if you think about Czerny, I remember Czerny coming last season from Wolfsburg, and it took him a couple of months to adjust to the Scottish game, and then he became a top player. 18 goals, so many assists. And as I said, Paul, it does. A lot of people think it's easy to come here and play. It's not. It's a tough league to play in. It might not be the best of quality, but it's a hard place to play.
Plus the fact, 2 teams like Celtic and Rangers, you won't play for 2 bigger clubs. You know, so you come to a league that's, like Barry says, it's not the best league in Europe, obviously, but you come to these 2 big clubs where the demand is so high and the fans want it every single week with you need to win. So it's no easy. But a story came into my head there. I played with a boy called Almari Niskanen at Dundee United, and he was going through a bad bout of confidence. What a great guy, but he was feeling, wasn't he playing great? And with a team, I think you need to be careful on how you try and get the boy confidence back. You know, the manager called us in for a meeting.
Who was the manager?
It was Tam Coates.
Okay.
And on the meeting, we all sat in the meeting, and on the TV was the highlights of Almari Niskanen's best highlights. And so we were sitting watching his highlights before the meeting started, and his head had gone. It had the opposite effect.
Oh, did it?
Aye, because see his highlights, he was going through and going missing chances in that.
Why would you do that?
I know. I don't know if that was his best stuff. I don't know who'd put the video up. But
surely there'd be stuff like assists or goals.
Well, there was that in it, but there was a couple where you were like, oh, great run, and then he balloons it out of the bar, and then there was a couple of good moments, but I think Almari was more embarrassed than I remember him leaving the meeting. He was raging.
No wonder.
Aye.
smashed
But
the TV or
the
something,
manager was trying the best. He was trying his best to get the confidence back in the land, but he was gone after that.
Is Tam still in management?
I don't
Maybe
know.
not.
He's somewhere.
Right, pick your pundit with Scottish Gas is coming next.
Gas. With Scottish Gas Peak Save, get half price electricity every Sunday from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. Smart meter required. Eligibility and terms apply.
So, time to pick your pundit with Scottish Gas, and we're giving you the chance to win up to £500. On the line trying to win this evening, a Rangers fan, Paul from East Kilbride. Hi, Paul.
Hi, how you doing, Paul? How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Barry, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good.
All right, Paul, how are
And
you?
Charlie?
All right.
Yeah.
Hi, Barry. Hi, Charlie. How you doing? All right, guys?
I'm good.
Yeah, where are you? You up the Murray in East Kilbride? Just trying to guess.
That's exactly.
Is it?
That's exactly where I'm again, Paul. Aye.
There we are.
There you go.
Sunny Murray.
There you are. So, you're a Rangers fan. What do you think? Who's going to be the manager of the year? Danny Rule, Martin O'Neill, or Derek McInnes?
I hope it's Danny Rowe, but I don't know. We'll just need to see it out. Good win on Saturday, but another 6 cup finals to go, I guess, isn't it? And see if we can do it or not.
That's worked well. Barry saying 9 to go, 8 to go, 5 to go, no, 6 to go. So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the old cliche, as I said at the start of the show, Paul. You can't look too far ahead.
No.
I think that's the best way to operate it. We'll just fully focus on Sunday going to Falkirk, and as I said, this is going to be a right tough game. There's no doubt in my mind.
Declan's in from Scottish Gas with us here tonight, along with Peter. So we're good for the money. Obviously, we're good for the money. What would you do with it? Who do you want to choose? Do you want Charlie or Barry to answer the questions?
I'll go with Barry. No offence, Charlie. It's all right.
Oh, don't worry, none taken. I would choose Barry as well. If I was you.
This pressure ain't good. But I like it. Listen,
£500 from Scottish Gas. What would you do with it?
Okay, I'll probably put it towards I'm going on holiday next week, or I'm putting it towards my summer holiday or something like that. So
Excellent.
where are you off to?
I'm going to Drumsini Village next week.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, Coilhead.
Excellent.
Nice part of the world,
Isn't it? Hopefully the weather's getting better now. Springtime up there. Yeah.
Aye, hopefully, and get a wee game of golf in as well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yep. Charlie's pitched the pad.
I heard him earlier on there talking about it.
Did you? He's got Barry on. That'd be good, actually. We could have a gallery walking round watching you. Yeah. Is that allowed? Yeah.
No.
No, they don't fancy it. All right.
We need to be able to drop balls at the pocket. Don't need too many eyes on us.
5 questions for Barry Ferguson then,
Right.
who's
Here we go.
been a winner with Rangers, Blackburn Rovers, Blackpool, Birmingham City. Here we are. Question number 1, Barry. Which Scottish striker opened the scoring for Southampton in their classic FA Cup defeat of Arsenal at the weekend?
Big boy Stewart. Was Stewart. He's a good player.
Correct.
Very good player.
Ross County,
Ross
wasn't he?
County, and then he went to
Sunderland.
Sunderland.
Yeah.
Sunderland, aye.
Well done.
And
Yeah.
they signed him for, I think they signed him for about £8 million or something.
He was mentioned, wasn't he, as a potential Celtic or Rangers? Ross
Been mentioned
Stewart.
for the,
Good
has he not
option
been
for
in a few-
Scotland.
Yeah.
He's been in a few Scotland squads. Has he not?
Has he been in them?
I think he has.
That'd be
Yeah.
a good option.
Yeah. So that's 1 out of 5. So question number 2. Barry, there are currently 3 managers in the Premiership who were in post at this time in the same club last year. 3 of them in the Scottish Premiership, still at the same club, still at the same time.
There's 3.
Yeah.
They need to get 3 of them.
No, just one of them.
Jim Goodwin.
There's John McGlynn, there's David Gray, and there's Jim Goodwin. Correct. So 2 out of 5 so far. Question number 3. Who's the second most capped Scotland player of all time? Second most. So we know who number 1 is.
Just
Yep.
beat Jim Leighton last week.
Yep.
Andy Robertson.
Andy Robertson, AR26. Correct. 3 out of 5. Charlie, would you be okay for these so far?
I've got 3
Yeah.
or 3 so far.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 4. Which team has scored the most goals in the Premiership this season? Scottish Premiership. Who scored the most goals?
Rangers.
You think?
I better be right.
You're right.
That's all right.
We're just doing a bit.
I don't like when you do that.
Sorry, I know. But what's his name? Chris Tarrant made a career out of that. You get $1 million a year for doing it,
Get the
didn't
wee
he?
tune on.
So, okay.
Close to what you're getting, Paul.
Yeah, steady, yeah. Very good. Barry's actually quite funny, isn't he? Yeah. Okay. No. Right, question number 5. Which team currently sits, and this is a tough one, which team is top of the League 3 in Scotland? So League 1. Okay, I'll ask it again. Which team currently sit atop of League 1 in Scotland? The third tier.
I'm going to go with Gary Naismith, Stenhousemuir. I think it is.
Respect. Correct. 5 out of 5, Paul. You're going to be a winner. Yeah.
Nice.
No problem.
Go again,
No
Paul.
problem.
Yeah. That's
Nice
So that goes towards his holiday there.
That's it.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? Good.
Exactly, Barry. That's a wee extra for us now. The wife will be wanting some of that as well, probably.
Stenhousemuir, I should have known that one. I would have struggled in that one.
do you know
Charlie,
the
did
reason
you?
5
why
out of 5 I
Yeah.
got.
Did you? Well done. Yeah.
5 out of 5.
Because
Yeah.
Gary Naismith, he's done some job
He
at
has.
Stenny.
Yep.
Put them up last year as well.
Doing well.
Who's
Well
your
done.
who's your all-time favourite Rangers player?
Better say me now.
I'll go Barry this now. I can't say anybody else. No, I mean I can't. No, I'll go Barry.
Who's your second favourite?
Gaza, Paul Gascoigne.
wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
He's just different class, wasn't he?
Oh, he was an absolute joker,
Something
a football player.
Wasn't he? I watched some stuff over the weekend.
And do you know what?
Online.
One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Had time for everybody. Aye.
I
What a
interviewed him
player.
a few times, the tunnel and all the rest of it.
Did you?
Aye. He'd been barred from speaking about, the birth
Give
of
us
the
a
baby.
story, go on.
Okay, so it was Aberdeen Rangers at Pittodrie, and so I'm doing it for STV Scott Sport live game. He's man of the match. So we do the interview at the end, and they're saying, look, you can't mention the baby, because he'd disappeared for a few days with Chris Evans and Danny Baker, didn't he?
Right.
And the baby was being born, and they couldn't find him. Do you remember that, Barry?
I remember it.
And so you can't ask him about it. Okay, so I've got everything. I've got ITN wanting to find it. So I spoke to him about the game. He played brilliantly, and at the end, I just looked at him and I said, "Is your third goal or man of the match? There it is. Is that for the baby?" And he went, "Yes, it is." And he spoke about the baby and all the rest. Then afterwards, he said, "Thanks very much." Because
Nice.
you had to. It was the right way. I didn't say to him. Maybe I should have said journalistically, "Why were you out in the bevy all weekend?" But he then spoke about it, and he opened
Nice.
up a wee bit. He was absolutely brilliant.
He was
The
good. Do you know
best
what?
one I heard about him was when it was at Spurs and the ball went over the fence at training, and he went to get it, and the lads never seen him again. And he ran back in the next morning with the ball during training and went, "I've got it."
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Where did he go, man, with that ball?
Oh, you wouldn't have wanted to know.
Yeah.
But one thing I loved about him, see, as a young apprentice, he had time for everybody. He used to take a real keen interest on how did you go on last night and have you had a game. I thought it was just brilliant for a guy who was a world star, wasn't he? Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Aye, some player.
And he was still some player, wasn't he, Paul, when he came to Scotland? You know how sometimes we see players, they're well past it. My goodness, he was probably at his peak.
I was going to say that. It was his peak when he came to us. Some of the goals he scored were just incredible. And I remember back to him. One against Aberdeen, I think we won the league at Ibrox, was just unbelievable that day. I think he scored a hat-trick that day, maybe.
Aye. And that was a 3-0 game, wasn't it? It was.
Should have been sent off a couple of times for elbows, though. He got away with a few.
But that's the way he played.
Nah, I don't know.
He used to always say to us, protect yourself.
That's the way you played, Barry, wasn't it?
Aye, protect yourself.
Who's going to win the Premier League in England? Is it going to be your former player, Arteta? I mean, obviously that was a shock for them in the Cup at the weekend, Paul.
It was a bit. I was out and I couldn't believe when I came in and seen the score later on. I was like, wow. That's him fell apart in 2 cups now. So I don't know. The pressure, I think they play Man City soon, don't they? So I'll soon tell.
But surely, Barry, they can't throw it away. You don't want to jinx it.
Well,
But
yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but I think no, I can't see them. Surely not. But listen, you never rule Man City out, do you?
Charlie, what do you feel?
You wouldn't imagine that they'll throw it away for here, but again, Man City are some well-oiled machine, as we saw at the weekend. Pep Guardiola's another level in management, so you never know.
And Charlie, what about Man City, Liverpool in the Cup? What's happened to Liverpool champions
That's
last
what I mean.
year?
You saw Man City again.
Yep.
I fancied Man City strongly in that game. Obviously Liverpool are a good side as well, but Pep Guardiola just knows when to get it done.
Do you think he'll be there next year?
They've asked him to come out and declare it, haven't they? The Man City, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm talking about Slot.
Or Slot. I don't know. Depends how they finish this season, I'd imagine. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Barry, what do you think on Arne Slot?
I don't know. I mean, the money they spent in the summer. What was it? 350 million they spent. And they're not the same team they were last season. Obviously won the league last year. I'd be surprised if he stays.
Yeah.
I think they might look to change it.
And Guardiola, do you think he'll stay? What do you think? Or is he going to go for next? I mean,
Where
can
does
he do
go?
any more?
I know. Just about to say, where does he go from?
No.
Man City.
He does he does a Jurgen Klopp. Says, right, that's it. I'm going to take a break for a wee while. Maybe.
But he's the best there's ever been.
Paul, listen, thank you so much for coming on. £500 coming to you. You picked
No, I appreciate it. Brilliant.
from Scottish Gas. Thank you, and enjoy your time there in Argyll. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you very much. All right, cheers,
Well
Barry.
done, Paul.
Right,
See you,
enjoy
mate.
yourself, mate. Cheers.
Thank you. Charlie, it's a big game tomorrow night. Ayr United, of course, without your former teammate, now Scott Brown, up against Dunfermline.
See, John
pal.
Rankin's been in
Yeah.
in there. You'll have them well organised, well drilled, fit. You'll have them fit. So, they got a draw at the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Good
Yeah.
Partick,
1-1.
You know what
Yeah.
Aki's way?
I was,
John Ryan.
He's
right.
he runs every morning. He's a machine.
Is he?
Runs,
Yeah.
does 4-4s every morning. Demands his team are fit. He's a good coach as well. So you'll have them firing.
Was
you'd
that your
imagine.
interview?
John Ryan?
Right, 4-4s.
Aye, take it one and day 4-4s. I wouldn't think got the job.
Who's going to win tomorrow night, Barry? Who do you fancy, Ayr or Dunfermline?
That's a hard one.
Charlie, feel free to chip in.
Neil Lennon's done
Yeah.
a good job there, hasn't he?
Yeah, cup
I've
semi
got
final.
to fancy. I've got to
Comes
fancy them.
Do you?
I think it will be a close one. I just think Dunfermline will nick it.
I think they'll get to the final as well, don't film.
And the SWPL, there's Celtic Rangers as well.
Right, it's
In
happening.
fact,
5:10 kickoff.
Yep. In fact, we'll give you news on that. It's
Watching
on
it?
at the moment. Yeah.
Watching it.
I can't hear
Get-
one here.
he's here. He's on.
Oh, is it tonight? Oh, sorry, I
Aye,
thought
just
it was-
now.
It's like, it's in the
I thought it
morning.
was tomorrow.
10
I
past
thought it was
5.
tomorrow night. Sorry.
0808 17 17 700. We're back after this.
The Go Radio Football Show with Burger King.
This time tomorrow night, Craig Moore will be here and Andy Walker. So, yep. What a teammate. In fact, I saw stuff with Gaza. That was at the weekend in the tunnel, and it was Rangers lined up and Celtic coming out. And then Paul. So Rangers were there first, Barry, and you see Craig Moore standing, shouting, and all the rest of it. Gaza. And then Celtic must have waited a little bit. And then Paul McStay came out on his own. And then I think Gaza goes to him, "Are you just taking us on yourself?" Or whatever. And Paul kind of smiled. Because what a player he was, Paul McStay. I know it was before your time, but yeah.
Listen, he was a fantastic midfield player. I remember it used to come in for a bit of criticism where when I was younger growing up, I didn't really understand, because every time I seen him, he made Celtic tick, didn't he, basically? He was a top midfielder, and there's always the question, why did he not go and play
Elsewhere. Yeah.
whether it was down in England or I think there was Italian teams after him at some stage, wasn't there, as well? But no, he was a top midfielder.
Charlie, as a young boy, was he one of your heroes?
I
Paul
don't
McStay?
remember him.
No.
I obviously know who he is, Paul, but
Yeah.
I don't remember him clearly. Playing, I've heard you speak about him on here, and that's why I always say, what was he like? Obviously seen clips of him and that. Looks like a right good player, but I don't.
He was a terrific player.
Didn't see enough of him.
The things that was sacked the board the first time round, Celtic were in, a bad way, and Paul was just a phenomenal player. And there were some good players in the team. You're also up against a really good Rangers team who were on the way to a 9 in a row. So quite often Celtic played really good football, but couldn't quite go over the line. Do you think you're one of his heroes, maybe? Because he'll know you.
No chance.
Who was his midfield? Was it Granty?
Peter Grant, yeah.
Maybe that's
Roy
who he
Keane
didn't go to
behind him as
the...
well.
Oh,
Who was better, Paul
Grant will be
McStay or
here.
Peter Grant?
Peter Grant would tell you Paul McStay. Everyone would tell you Paul McStay. It's a bit like saying, Larson, Hartson, and also Sutton. Great players.
Was
but
Peter
is it
Grant good,
Larsson?
though?
He's a very good player. They called him Pointer because he was Celtic daft, and he gave everything every
is he?
single game. I know, it's hard to believe, isn't it? He gave everything.
What do you
Yeah.
think his leather jacket at Christmas do, though?
He was giving me stick on the rain
Do you have the
during
shirt?
that one. Yeah.
The shirt lit.
Okay,
buttoned right
Michael's
down.
on, a Rangers fan. He's bailing me out here. Hi, Michael. Good evening.
Good evening, Paul. How are you doing? All right?
Good, Michael. How are you? Happy New Year and Happy Easter. Sorry.
Happy New Year.
Somebody said to me Happy Christmas the other day. So, Happy Easter, Michael.
How was that snow yesterday, wasn't it?
No,
It's got your mind.
Well, start that.
it was. I would.
Hang up and phone back again.
Michael. Michael's on the line. Hi, Michael. Good evening.
All right,
How
Michael.
you doing, Paul?
Good, thank you. Barry.
Merry Christmas.
Charlie. And to you. Listen, Rangers women are 2-up at the moment against Celtic. That was just coming in there, but I can't. 2-0 at the moment. 75 minutes gone. Wilco, a great goal there. Free kick just a moment or two ago. Michael, what's in your mind tonight?
So, hi, Barry.
How you doing, Michael?
Charlie.
Hi, Michael.
No bad, mate. No bad. So I just want to come on and praise the manager, Danny Rowe, because I don't think he gets the credit that he's due. I don't know if you'll agree with me. He's came from anywhere. He wasn't the first choice. And out with the debacle of Russell Martin and all that kind of stuff, he's come in fourth choice, I think it was, and he's done wonders. Absolutely wonderful. And I was wanting to ask you, has he brought that mentality from being around about the German national squad in the Bundesliga? Because we all know that their mentality is win, win, win. Barry, do you agree with that?
Listen, that's a good point you make, because he's obviously been at the German national team. I know what Germans are like. I mean, I've played with a few Germans and they are strong characters. There's no doubt about it. Obviously worked at Bayern Munich. And I agree with you, Michael. See if you had said to me mid-October that Rangers would be in this position with 6 games to go, I would have looked at you in a strange way. I never thought it would have been possible. Like, quality, you kept asking me, if you remember, is Rangers out it? And I would, no, you can never give in. But deep down, I thought there was absolute no chance. So, I think a lot of credit has got to go to the manager and his staff, but also the players, because if you remember, Michael, this group of players, I know he's made 4 new signings in January, but they were struggling as well. So a lot of it's down to them obviously finding a good bit of form. And I think Paul mentioned before we come on the show, 15 games unbeaten. That's showing a good bit of solid form going into the business end of the season.
Charlie, do you regret saying to... Yeah, hold a second. I'll come to you in a second, Michael. Do you regret saying to Barry a few months ago, will you be okay to be top 6? Do you remember that? That was in the Russell Martin days.
I know. Listen, Danny Rowe's done well. Done really well. His signings are good. The players that were there before, he had to play that a lot up from October to January with the players that were there that he wasn't too happy with. You could tell that. He picked up results during that period, got them defensively solid and done well with Rangers, but ultimately it won't mean anything unless Rangers win the league. Rangers won't get a better chance to win the league than they will now this season with the position they're in with 6 games to go. It's in their hands. They need to step up and prove that they deserve to win it.
Is he a winner for you, looking at Danny Rowe, the way he's changed the team, the people he's brought in, the way he speaks? What do you think?
Time will tell, Paul. We'll see what he's got all about him with the 6 games to go.
It'll be some achievement. Michael, sorry, you're back on.
No, I didn't. I just wanted to say the job that he's done is 13 points behind. Yep. We were 9th or 10th away back in October, September, October time, and he's been outstanding. And the players, we are stuttering. The players are still. I think the players are still playing, trying to adapt, but we're getting the results at the right times. I know he's messed up the formation. The biggest mistake he done was against the Hibs game. I don't know if Barry will agree with the draw. We were lucky to get a point with the Hibs. But I think personally, I'm a striker lover, and I think I love Dessers, and I think if Dessers was here, he would be firing us right to the top of the league. I think the guy was fantastic, and I think Bojan Miłowski is the best striker at the club, but sadly he is not getting a game. I would just like to say finally, Barry, do you agree or not agree What's your opinions, mate?
In terms of Miovski, I think he's had a bit of a struggle this season. There's no doubt about it. But listen, he's come on and he's scored in the last few games. So that's what you want for your forwards. You've got competition for places now. You've got Nadiri, Chermiti and Miovski.
11 goals, Barry, as you know.
Yep. So that's what you want. You want your goal scorers scoring at the right time of the season. And certainly Miovski. I mean, go back to Miovski. When Rangers signed him in the summer, I was looking forward to seeing him because at Aberdeen, I really liked him. Obviously, he's went to Spain, never really worked. He's come back here. It's been a bit up and down, but listen, he's coming on and he's making his mark and get a goal, obviously, against Dundee United on Saturday. And now the manager's got decisions to make. That's what you want as a manager. You've got 3 players going for. Sometimes he goes with 2 up, Michael, didn't he? And Saturday against Dundee United, he went with 1 up with Big Nadiri. And I thought he done pretty well in the first half. Just disappointing hearing the manager say that it looks as if he's going about for another couple of games now, be coming off at half time. But Miovski might be the one to step up. Let's wait and see.
Charlie, it's a great point, isn't it? Chermiti, 9 goals, and I've just mentioned 11 goals for Miovski.
I don't think the manager Danny Rowe fancies Miovski much. Listen, he's not doing his case any harm by coming on and scoring like he did at the weekend, and that's what he needs to continue to do. You just get the feeling, having known football and experienced it and played, you see that he doesn't start a lot of games. There's preferred players that play ahead of him. He seems to be third choice, and maybe the manager doesn't fancy him, but he just needs to come on and score. And if he's scoring goals, then he'll soon gain the trust of the manager.
You know what it's like, Charlie. All you can do, if you get the opportunity, you need to go and make sure the manager sits up and take notice. So he gets an opportunity on Saturday. He comes on, pops one in the back of the net, and then he just needs to go and train hard and see where it takes him in terms of getting into that starting 11.
Michael, it's been a funny season, hasn't it, in terms of goal scorers? Maswanisi, 22 goals. At Motherwell, Negrin at Celtic on 19. Braga, Hearts, obviously, 16. And then James Tavernier on 14. And then Miovski on 11, the top scorers.
I know it's been an up and down season. It's a season out with. It's been a season out with. There'll never be a season like this again. Celtic have fell off a cliff. Hearts have came and challenged, and I thought Hearts were going to do an Aberdeen and fall away, but they've actually stayed the course, which is testament to Derek McInnes and his backroom staff, and praise the manager and the backroom staff again, plus the players. Do you know what I mean? But just before I go, the manager of the month, I would just like to put it out there. John McGlynn of Falkirk has done an outstanding job with Falkirk and the budget that he's got, top 6, and they could beat, and I think they will beat, Dunfermline to get into the Scottish Cup final. But lads, thank you very much for taking my call.
Michael, where are you from? I'll tell you why I'm asking.
I'm from a posh part of the West End of Glasgow, Hindland.
Oh, Hindland.
I'm not posh at all.
I'm
not posh at all.
Because you know what, with Declan and Peter, who are in from Scottish Gas, and they're from Lanarkshire, when I came in, you guys were talking about the difference in the accent between Glasgow and Lanarkshire. I didn't really know there was much. But Charlie, you've got a theory.
The West End's a whole other accent altogether.
Right.
That's a different ball game.
Michael's isn't a West Ender. He's not a West Ender, is he?
No, I wouldn't have guessed.
No.
I wouldn't have guessed that with Michael.
Michael, listen,
you'll get there soon, though. Give him a couple more months.
Good questions, but
very good. Michael, come on, are you a first time caller?
Yes, I am. Yeah, listen, I've just been. I've had health battles with cancer, throat cancer, and stuff like that. That's how I've been. I've been no well, but I try and go and see the Rangers when I was a young boy. I'm in my 40s. My all time favourite player when I seen you, when I heard Barry and that, who's your all time player with the boy that won the £500. Mine was Mark Walters, a fantastic player, two-footed player with the ball. With the ball, Mark Walters and Ted McMinn was my two
big tin man.
And Wilkie.
The tin man.
I think Barry, you'll agree with me. Mark Walters' biggest mistake was leaving Rangers when he followed Graham Souness. He would have been a superstar if he stayed. Aye, he would have been a superstar if he stayed with us. I absolutely loved him.
Yeah, I used to enjoy watching him, Mark Walters.
I know he's finished at 7 o'clock. Thanks very much, guys.
Oh, Michael.
I appreciate it.
Listen, you're sounding great as well. The voice, Michael. Well done, Michael. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Michael.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Cheers, mate.
Michael from the West End. That's great, isn't it? You know,
Nice.
his health battles. Sounds brilliant, Barry, doesn't he?
He does.
Sounds really
Good
good.
questions as well.
Some very good questions as well. So about Rangers, about the Hertz. What about Derek McInnes, about the title race? We heard him earlier on, but you could hear he was hurting at the weekend.
Yeah, we'll get 3 home games out of the remaining 6. But we're unbeaten at home. We're really strong. You know, I think today we came with a lot of expectation. Looking at the league table, you know, top v bottom. A lot of people would have thought that this was a straightforward game. Nobody from our point of view thought it was going to be straightforward. At times we looked good, and as I say, at times we looked like a team who looked as if they should be at the top of the league this season. And there was just other times where we were just guilty of sloppiness and mistakes, and ultimately we opened the door. But I actually think for us, we know we're better. We've got another game into Lawrence, another game into Cammy, and we'll get a couple back next week. I think it will help us.
If they do it, it'll be amazing, won't it? For Derek McInnes, he's kept his nerve the whole way. Can his team do it in the next 6 games?
Yeah, that's the big question, Mark. I think everybody is putting towards Hearts. Have they got this last bit in them? The last 6 games? Look, they've done fantastically well. Did I think this was going to be the case when the season kicked off? No, I didn't. Got to give them credit. Listen, they've dropped a couple of points where I'm sure he is disappointed. You can hear it in his voice, but he's still up for the fight. You can hear I know him personally. That's the type of character he is. He's got his big players coming back as well. They're getting fitter. He's got another couple of big players to come back. I would reckon one of them's going to be Big Finlay at the back, who I think's a huge miss for him. So listen, there's still a lot to play for.
Martin O'Neill spoke about his team. He wanted more goals.
Absolutely. And you knew that Dundee will come into the game. We should have, 2, 3 and 4 at the time after we had scored the first goal. We kept missing and kept missing and kept missing.
But eventually, Ian Atchell popped up after it was 1-1, 2-1.
Is that a foul?
Yeah. Ooh.
Where? In the Atchell?
Aye, on the defender.
I must admit, when I first saw it, I thought that's getting put back for a foul. When I saw it again, I think the defender
I think the defender's got to be stronger.
Yeah, he's got to be stronger. He's been doing too easy
stronger.
for me. There's a hand on his back, but it's less of a push than less of a push than I thought.
Danny Rule happy with the scoreline, obviously.
Yeah, I think general we come from 13 points from behind. I'm not sure, how was it? The goal difference -1 when we.
And now you are plus 32. That's it from us. It's flown in. Barry, you'll be back later in the week.
Yep.
Charlie as well.
Yep.
Thanks so much. That's it from us. Andy Walker here tomorrow night with Craig Moore. Thank you so much.